Hello everybody, welcome to my own little house. This is Mary Catherine, and today I am warping up my mother's periwinkle shawl. Let's see how it's going. And I thought I would show you a new setup I got that I hope works better because my studio is so small. It's a little cramped in there for warping up on that dresser that I've been using. So what I've got today is I've put my loom back on my dining room table. I used to do this, but I used to do it on the shorter end, which is rounded, and I had a hard time keeping it secure. But on the longer end, I've got two clamps over here holding it on, and I'm using the table runner to protect my table when I clamp it. Now, as far as the peg end, I'm doing something different here too. I've got this chair with, it's got a baby high chair, see that tray? And so in between, at the end of this high chair, I can put this. Now, I've only ever used a single peg before to warp up, and a lot of people use multiple pegs on a post or something like this, warping boards and things like this. But I think it might help my tension also because this will be a pretty wide piece. And so I'm just resting this behind this tray, and the chair is actually stationary. The back legs of the chair are tucked behind the threshold between the dining room and the living room where I have the camera. So hopefully this will give me some better warping up situation. We'll see. I've pulled the table closer so that it's just a little over 70 inches from this back warping stick to these pegs that I'm going to use. So now we'll look at the yarn and we'll warp it up today. Now I am going to remove the ribbon because I think it's not going to have the same give. It doesn't have any stretch, and some yarns really do. So I don't want to have that disparity of stretchiness in my yarns for this. And I'm going to take out this one, I'm sorry to say, because my mother does not really, she's not a sparkly yarn kind of person. So I'm going to take that out too. And so I'm left with these others. And this is for my weft. I love yarns. This is Perwinkle. Wonderful. So these will be, and this is very, very close to that. So this will be a lot of my warp. But I'll be using all these as well to give some variety to the periwinkle. Okie dokie. Better get started. These are from my tensioning device. So is that. So are these. I've got clamps in here. This is for another loom. All kinds of stuff in here. Papers for rolling up. Got rubber bands and hair ties. Now I do want things to be snug, but not tight. I'm not trying to create any tension, as I've said before, when I warp this up. Like that one feels a bit loose to me. Yeah, you don't want any saggy warp strings too much. That's just a waste of yarn. The tension would be corrected with a tensioning device, but still, I'm going to start with something decent. Okay, let's see what we want next. Let's definitely go for some Simply Soft. This is pretty much Periwinkle too, although I don't know what color it's technically called. Oh, can I get them? I guess not. Oh yeah, that's coming out of the middle. That's great. If I make the shawl a little over 70 inches, then when I start cutting off, you know, excess yarn on the ends and all that kind of stuff, I want to make sure that it is 60 for sure inches. The shawl itself, it should go from, some people say fingertip to fingertip around your back. You know, that might be a bit much. I don't think my mother wants that. She does like to snuggle up in something warm though as she gets older. So as I'm looping those around the other end, I'm not making it super tight. Yeah, let's do another one of these. This is going to be a nice wide shawl, so I have plenty of room for all the colors, and I don't have to be skimpy with any of them. Okay, ooh, I think maybe some of that pink next would be great. Now this is a slimmer yarn. Somebody, it might have been Nancy, one of you wonderful viewers, suggested doing my warp tighter and my weft looser. And I should double up on this. Never done that before. Don't really know how. Except for just to go through. All right, where'd it go? There it is. I heard of a lady who took her sleighing hook and painted it orange or something just because it was so hard to find. This color blends into everything. All right, what do you think? Should I go twice? I think maybe I should. I don't know that my mother is wild about pink per se, but this is a pink and blue lavender kind of blend. And I think it will be a lovely accent in here. Okay, well, this might get boring, so I think I'll stop. I'm gonna do a little bit more of this. Well, maybe I'll be done with that for now. Okay, I'll stop here and bring you back when I have more done. I'm really liking these colors so far. This will be fun. This is a double yarn. I didn't realize it until I was tying it on, and but I think that's fine. So here's the warp so far. Here's the dark blue, Simply Soft, pink, the crinkly stuff, the other blue with the little bit of feathery stuff, then some more of the Simply Soft, then this kind of shiny, goldy, silvery, this is the more shiny one. Dark blue, Simply Soft, pink, Simply Soft, dark blue. You can see the ones I'm trying to dominate, certainly the Simply Soft, with regular bits of pink, because the pink seems to be really brightening it up. It's a nice contrast to the dark blue. And my mother loves blue. So even though she's asking for a periwinkle shawl, she'll be happy when there's blue. And here's that crinkly stuff again. I gave a nice band of it. It's one of my favorite yarns. I don't know what it is. I had lots of it, but it was not packaged. It was from the thrift store. Super fun. I'm about to use up this shiny stuff. I've gotten, was it 4 more passes here. And I probably will get maybe 1 or 2 more. It takes a lot of yarn to go from here all the way to there and back. So weaving can be a good use of some scrap yarn, because you can do a few rows of one and a few rows of another. I don't know if I'll use up any others of this. I might use up the blue, we'll see. Anyway, so that's what it's looking like so far. I'm very pleased. Now I did a very silly thing. See how I've got the required 2 strings here and 2 strings here, but because I had to actually pull this last one through to get it to tie off just barely, I pulled it through the wrong thing here. I should have pulled it with this one. So now I have single strings in both of these last two slots here. So what I'm going to do, I don't want to untie it, it's already short enough. I'm going to use this pink and put a strand of pink through each one of these. And it will blend it together. We'll see how that works. All right, well, the yarn is on. I still have to wind it up and do the tension device and all that. I'm real pleased with how the colors came together. It's going to look good. You can see already how some of this yarn has stretched out, and the stuff that I worked on around the peg earlier is much looser than the stuff on the far side that I just did. But that's okay. Once I cut it off at the end, it loses all of its tension anyway, and then we'll roll it up.